My name is Albert Marshall, and I am from the Moose Clan. And I am from Mi'kmaq, but I do reside in a community called Eskik-Ornawagi here in Cape Breton. I only reside there, but I am from Mi'kmaq and Wabanaki Confederacy territory. If we look at the tourism from both perspectives, and when you look at it from the non-native perspective, what are the key points that drives this concept? Apparently it's just through materialism, through historical facts, through something unique architecturally or something like that. I think it could be very expedient if we can bring in another concept from an Aboriginal perspective, and that is, why not allow the beauty of our natural world to be able to generate just as much economic opportunities as those people that are coming here or going on vacation to see these unique areas, because that concept I would like to call ecotourism. That would redirect people of their ambition to constantly eliminate things that do not bring economic value. If we overlay that with the Mi'kmaq perspective, we can bring forward as well other elements of nature that are much more valuable than what this mighty dollar can buy. So by uniting the two, but mutually respecting the concept that each bring forth, the non-native perspective on tourism and the Aboriginal way of how we see tourism, in which both, if those two concepts were to weave together, we can say, Mavugoik, together we will be strong. And in that process, we will not compromise the ecological integrity of the area, but actually will enhance it, because areas have to be maintained in so many different ways for them to maintain that tourist attraction. But here, if we weave nature into it, all we have to do is maintain our responsibilities so that our actions do not cause negative actions. The nature will take care of it, so it would be net zero. So I think that could be something that could be really seriously considered and entertained into how can we constantly improve about tourism, in which it will not only generate economic opportunities for some, but also create opportunity for others to see nature at its glory. Etuaptmumk of course, is an action-oriented, and hopefully reconciliation can and should be. But I believe Etuaptmumk is pretty much, in my humble opinion, using the lessons from the past, and of using those lessons to guide us into the future, not only to improve, but also some of them discard some of those lessons. In reconciliation, I think it's much more based from an individualistic perspective. We cannot reconcile anything unless each individual reconciles within themselves the things that they need, that they should have improved, things that they shouldn't have done, and improve them as to how can they improve their actions. Now, reconciliation, I believe, is being used maybe in a wrong context. That we were, and we are a problem. And the onus should be on us how to reconcile our actions. But the rest of this society, I believe, has to do their own reconciliation. And the outcome of our reconciliation should be that we're going to move forward together on this one road. Not just mutually respecting the uniquenesses that we bring forth, but we will allow love and compassion to guide us into the future. Etuaptmumk, in my humble opinion, is solely based on love and compassion. And just like love and compassion, you cannot legislate love and compassion, but it's got to be lived and exercised. Now, but Etuaptmumk, I believe, whether it needs more explanation or clarification. But the question again, I think, has to be asked. Why is it so difficult for our non-native brothers and sisters to understand this concept, in which we feel is so simple, because we all have two eyes. We have our own perspective, we have our own cultures and our ways of knowing and being. And why can't we use those so that the mutual or a collective efforts will be much more beneficial for others, not just for the ones that are seeking to have some security in life through economics, but also we'll ensure that through these collective actions, we would then rest assured that your future generations and my future generations, we would leave them something much better than the ones that was here, that was before us when we came up. One main issue that we see as a deterrent of no matter what initiative that we may be personally working on, but you know, we're not the only group here that's working on these same issues. The question then begs in all of us, issues that we're pretty much or on the same level or same ground. Why are we so competitive with each other? If the Provincial Tourism Association was to make some efforts of addressing that core issue, that there's only so much of a market that we can generate. But that market has to be based on diversity. One area might attract more because of the uniqueness that area has, and so on. Just think, how expedient could it be if there was the national body focus on co-learning and in-depth collaboration would be people that are in a similar business or situations. Because I think the key area that I would like to focus on tourism is uniqueness. Who can come up with the most unique product or unique vision? Well, I think that's not possible. But I believe each area has certain uniquenesses in that geographical area, and other areas have others. That reminds me then, when I think about Colonel Saunders with his 11 spices and herbs. And I do know that one herb will not change anything. It's only when you put these 11 spices and herbs together, then it generates something very unique. That analogy, I think, could very well be applied in tourism, in which we look at all the uniquenesses we have in our geographical area, and how can we build on those uniquenesses so that the end product would be much more effective and beneficial, not just for people, but also for nature. And I think that's the only way where I believe this Etuaptmumk could be effective. If we were to think not so much as individuals or regionally, but rather more on a national, because our objectives are the same, but yet we're allowing competitiveness to deter us and to divide us. Ego, igande, ha, ego,